Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for pricing or with your questions. tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing a TAG Heuer Carrera limited edition from 2020. This is a 1,000-piece stainless steel 160th anniversary Montreal tribute. So the TAG Heuer Carrera 160th anniversary Montreal, a tribute both to the 1972 Montreal model from the Heuer back catalog as well as the original 2447S Carrera model, combining the two threads of history into one watch. 39 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel, the timepiece is easily wearable with a relatively short distance across the wrist of 47.7 millimeters, a thickness of 14.6 millimeters, and a vintage-inspired 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Of course, the original Montreal was a standalone model, not a Carrera, but this watch captures the colorful spirit of the Montreal in the more iconic Carrera case. As you can see, easy to wear on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. There's your cuff shot. It's not a thin watch, but it is relatively sloped on its flank, so you should be able to wear it underneath a tight sleeve. Not too broad across the wrist. I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, and you can see the further you move from the camera, the better it looks in proportion. Taking a look at the hardware and the software, you can see this watch is robustly Heuer branded. TAG Heuer realizing that perhaps the Heuer brand itself carries the majority of the currency among collectors. We have a Heuer branded dial, a Heuer branded crown, we have a Heuer branded case back, but we also have TAG on the rotor, and that is the only place you're going to see it because even the buckle itself says Heuer. The strap is cobalt blue, large rectangular scale alligator leather, semi-gloss, monotone stitch, sheer cut sides showing the layers of leather, a little bit of bolstering or stuffing adjacent to the case, and then calfskin on the underside. You can see this is a brand new TAG Heuer strap, and they have even Heuer branded the strap. There is a clasping system that's built into the deployant that allows you to size and then hold the sizing without any resort to perforations on the strap. So it crimps and holds underneath the clasp body, which means it's very clean once buckled. There are no minder loops visible, and any excess length is hidden underneath the strap. Again, that prevents the gouging of the strap because it crimps rather than penetrates an aperture in the strap itself. As you can see, this is all of high polish, and it's twin trigger release, so it can't pop open accidentally, and the Heuer shield is the form of the buckle. The Carrera lugs, famed since 1963, are integrated into the case band, but they jut out with a strong thrusting sculptural form. They almost seem to be in tension. Even though the timepiece is static, it has the air of mobility, of motion. It's almost a kinetic sculpture in that sense. It looks as though it wants to be in action on your wrist. And indeed, this is a watch that has few but strong details that speak to a dynamism of design that explains why this design has been so long-lived and successful. The pump pushers are another vintage nod. We have the Heuer branded crown push down, though the watch is 100 meters water resistant, and it has a vintage-inspired cambered sapphire designed to read as a vintage plexiglass. It's even got a little bit of that off-axis distortion you expect on a vintage plexi. The sharp pointed lugs come to a tip at their end, and then the bezel is minimalist. You can see it's conical but small, and that it's somewhat sunken below the hoods of the lugs themselves so they don't get unduly cropped, but we also don't wind up with an unusually thick watch. The dial is white, not silver, white. The individual indices are rhodium-plated steel, and they have facets that are alternately satinated and polished for contrast. We have red, yellow, white, and blue, so all the primary colors plus white plus black. Triple register, no date, very clean. The watch, of course, channeling the color scheme of the Montreal with the Carrera case and dial layout. The timepiece has the Heuer 02, and it is on the rotor. 160 years, that is the only place where you will see TAG Heuer on this watch. Heuer 02 is an impressive movement, automatic winding, 80-hour power reserve, stop seconds, protected to 100 meters. It has the vertical clutch and column wheel system we expect in contemporary chronographs while beating away at 8 beats per second, pivoting on 33 joules. You can see that the seconds hand will always start smoothly because of the presence of the vertical clutch. The sharp feel and report that you hear, that's due to the column wheel, which you'll appreciate is actually visible. underneath the case back. Now, because of the vertical clutch, if you wish, you can leave the chronograph running full-time so you can have your hours, minutes, and seconds at center. Just ignore the registers and treat that as your seconds hand. So you can actually run the chrono full-time due to the vertical clutch. There is no additional wear or tear or hazard to your watch. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the Carrera Montreal. As you can see, that patina style lume is a little bit dimmer than standard Luminova, but still quite visible.